Hey you, I'm really glad you came here tonight. Let's slow down together, not because we're tired of chasing, but because we're curious about the next small thing we can do that actually moves us forward. Take a breath with me, inhale, easy, exhale, slow. I'm not here to push you to change your whole life in one night. I'm here because I believe in the small, steady steps that add up. So here's a tiny question. We're starting with, what's one move you could make tomorrow that wouldn't crush you, but would nudge you a little closer to the life you want? Not a giant leap, something doable. Tonight, we give that question space, and tomorrow we act on it, however imperfectly. I'm picturing you right now, winding down after a long day. Maybe you've got a mug that's gone cold on your desk, or a blanket you pull a little closer. This moment isn't about pretending you have it all figured ouchie. It's about giving yourself permission to begin again, gently, with a friend by your side who believes in you even when your own belief wobbles. If you're listening with someone else nearby, you can squeeze their hand or share a quiet nod. If you're on your own, imagine I'm sitting just a breath away, hands open, listening. We're here to listen to one honest human step you can take tomorrow, and to trust that even small steps are enough to start moving a life toward real warmth and meaning. Growing isn't about pretending we're fearless. It's about being human, a little stubborn, a lot curious, and kind to ourselves when things don't go as planned. Think of life as a garden. Some seeds you plant with fanfare, others you plant because you're curious and you show up day after day. The seeds that thrive aren't always the loudest. They're the ones you tend with patience, rain or shine, even when you're tired or doubtful. And sometimes you'll water a seed and nothing happens. For a while, that's not a failure. It's just time taking its sweet, slow course. Risk isn't about gambling your future. It's about listening to that small, honest voice inside you and choosing the path that feels true, even if your hands shake a bit. You might worry you'll mess up or disappoint someone you care about. That's human. The magic happens when you decide to move anyway. Not because you're fearless, but because you're curious enough to see what lies beyond the edge of the known. When you lean into that feeling, you start meeting more of your real potential. You begin to notice doors you didn't even know existed, doors that only reveal themselves when you choose the uncertain path and walk through slowly with careful steps. And yes, you'll stumble. A stumble isn't a verdict. It's data little clues about what to try next, what skill to practice, who to ask for help. Each stumble is a tiny invitation to revise, adapt, and grow a little taller than before. Picture failures as a stubborn but well-meaning mentor who says, "Nice try. Let's tweak the plan and try again, but softer this time." When you quiet the critical voice and actually listen, failure becomes a conversation with yourself, learning how to adjust, how to begin again, how to show up with more honesty. There's a memory I carry, a project I believed would be quick and smooth, but it kept looping back to the same snag. I almost gave up. Almost. Instead, I paused, slept on it, and reached out to a friend who could see what I couldn't. We talked for 20 minutes, and suddenly a tiny shift opened up. The solution wasn't dramatic. It was practical and patient. That moment reminded me that failures aren't dead ends. They're shortcuts to better understanding if we're willing to listen. Dream big with gentle, practical steps. Dreams glow in the dark like distant lanterns. They pull you forward, but they don't carry you by themselves. So pair the dream with tiny steps. A morning ritual you actually enjoy. A 20-minute skill drill. A single conversation that could tilt the world in a new direction. The dream is the compass. The steps are the map. And you're the traveler who keeps faith with both one careful foot in front of the other. Sometimes the steps feel small or even silly, but that's exactly right. Small, steady actions add up to something enduring. Think of Edison Mandela or the quiet Mentezee. No people who kept showing up when quitting would have been easier. Not because they were fearless, but because they cared enough to try again and again and again. Their resilience isn't a myth. It's a habitat and everyday choice to restart. Even when fear tags along in the passenger seat, when you hear their stories, you realize resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about choosing to keep moving, even if the pace is slow. Fulfilling your potential isn't about sprinting to the finish line. It's about moving at a steady, human pace. Look for opportunities tucked into ordinary days. A conversation you've been avoiding. A skill you've wanted to learn. a risk you've talked yourself out of for too long. The small, brave steps you take today become the stories you'll tell tomorrow with warmth and pride. And remember, you don't need to solve everything at once. You only need to start where you are with the tools you have and keep showing up. Tonight, give yourself permission to begin again in a gentle way. Choose one tiny step you can take tomorrow, a single page you'll write, a short conversation you'll start, a habit you'll begin. Remember, the garden grows through patient tending, not dramatic rainfall. If doubt or fatigue arrives, greet it like an old friend and keep watering your one small seed anyway. Before we part, repeat this softly to yourself. I am capable. I am worthy of growth. I will take one gentle step tomorrow. I will learn from every stumble. I will care for my dream with consistency and kindness. Good night, friend. Sleep well. May your dreams be calm and your morning be bright. I'll be here when you wake, ready to walk with you into the day you're building, one small step at a time. Sweet dreams.